Supreme Court judgment, we have gotten to the end of the road as far as the rule of law is concerned, Dr. Akin Osuntokun says. Abi? Yes, now we have gotten to the end of judicial, how do I put it? Judicial credence. Because at the end of it is now, we have actually entrenched and instituted lawlessness completely at all levels. But again, without preempting, let's go straight into the details to understand Osuntokun's perspective in this matter. After the Supreme Court decision to uphold President Tíròùbĺe's victory in the presidential election, Dr. Akin Osuntokun, the Director General of the Labour Party, expressed that they have gotten to the end of the road or end of their journey as far as the rule of law is concerned. He was questioned whether the public confidence in the judiciary would remain strong following the court ruling. Okay, and during an interview with Arise TV, Osuntokun noted that the nation is currently grappling with an economic crisis, while the National Assembly is engaged in discussions regarding the procurement of land cruisers at a cost of 160 million naira for each. So he remarked, we have gotten to the end of the road as far as the rule of law is concerned. I don't know how many Nigerians are going to look at this process that we have gone through and have faith in the capacity of the judiciary to decide cases objectively. But you see, I think I mentioned it in your program before. What we have in Nigeria really is a systemic crisis in which all Nigerian public institutions are equally implicated. Look at the National Assembly. The immediate backdrop to this judgment was the National Assembly deciding to buy land cruiser worth 160 million naira per each or per person. Now, in a country in which the effect of floating the naira, removing the oil subsidy is ravaging people, and then it is on rampage, and then you have a National Assembly right. Look at it, it is such gross behavior. So that is what is happening here. So Osuntokun had just affirmed. Okay. So we're end of the road in terms of the state of the nation. We're end of the road in terms of the rule of law. There's nothing like rule of law in Nigeria, where a situation where the legislators and the executive have pocketed the judiciary, have taken advantage of the impoverished nature of the judiciary to buy them over and use them to perverse judgment. That is how bad it is. Like I said earlier, when a case is involving a very small person, a less privileged person in society like Mesomba, you will see all the lawyers, everybody will want to show skill, and judgment will come out in a matter of hours. Okay? But now it is involving a high-class politician. The judges now have to pervert and change a lot of things to suit the paymaster. So there's not like a rule of law. The law has said Nnamdi Kanu should be released. Unfortunately, the government keep challenging the judgment and have refused to release him. Okay? And then we also have a case of Bawa, the former EFCC chairman, who was arrested and kept in custody for over a month or almost 2 months without any form of judgment. And now they just released him without even indicting him, without telling him what his sins and crimes are. Okay. Meanwhile, we have the same person that was taken out, Mefiele, the former CBN governor, who was under the DSS custody, was released. And now that Bawa was taken, now DSS also released Mefiele. Unfortunately, EFCC had taken him to custody. So why didn't EFCC also take Bawa into custody? Because it's all about the, what they call it, the rebranding of the Naira notes that both of them did. So there's not like a rule of law in Nigeria. The law has two sides of it. Okay, one side for the poor and one side for the rich. They say the law is blind. In Nigeria, the law is not blind. Okay, so that blindfolding they gave to that statute of law should be removed, because already, if the law is blind, what has happened at the appeal, that is the Presidential Election Petition Court and the Supreme Court, would not have happened. The law looked to one side and then decided to favor that side. That's exactly what the law did. So the law is not blind in Nigeria. We just need to know that. Okay. So Osuntokun has come out now to say, look at the state of the nation right now, a country where the law can see. Okay, they saw the favorable candidate and they favored the candidate. That is exactly what we have. Okay, so we have come to the end of the rule of law in Nigeria. On the other hand, in a country where the float of naira exchange rate is causing problem, economic problem, then the removal of the first subsidy is also causing economic problem. The legislators are busy planning to buy SUVs, Toyota Land Cruisers at 160 million naira for one, and they're going to buy it for about 300 to 500 lawmakers, both at upper and the lower chamber. So what do you have to say to that? That is bad, I tell you. And these taxpayers' money, they are spending the way they like. Okay? So there are a few comments here. Let's take a few of the comments. Somebody said, I salute the courage of Mr. Obi and his supporters. Buhari, Tinubu, Mahmoud Yakubu, and the judiciary rigged the election. They must reap what they sowed. That is it. Somebody saying, with due respect, sir, you were campaign DG of Obasanjo Atiku, which mismanaged this nation for 8 years, and you never mentioned the rule of law. My brother, they only call you from another party to come and replace Dèstróying for few weeks to election, and you are crying like this. What if you join them from beginning? So, And obviously, I'm sure you are old enough to make the right choice of West Cletus. Okay, that somebody is reporting. It's getting back to him now. That's the last commenter. Okay, for commenting. If Obasanjo mismanaged our resources, what word would you use for Buhari's 8 years of wickedness and Tinubu's misery? People are praying for years of Obasanjo to come back. Don't be tribalistic in your comment. Today in Abuja, fuel sold at 640 naira per liter and 1,320 naira to $1. And all of you are facing it. Okay. As far as elections are concerned in Nigeria, no one who experienced what transpired in the last election will ever participate in elections in Nigeria. It is an unfortunate situation, and that is the gospel truth. Next election, people have known that the electoral laws will not work, constitution will not work, and people's vote will not count, so people will not bother to come out. I tell you the truth. Now, the people that were actually beaten, some were injured, some were maimed during this last election have lost justice as well. This would have been a way to give them justice, but all of that is lost. The answer to the question is that we don't have judiciary in Nigeria, period. Nothing to hide there. Nigeria is completely finished. No judiciary, no government, no leaders, everything is scattered. Now, who will now come out to vote coming election? Nobody. Only fool will come out to cast vote, because since 2019, any vote cast doesn't count. They will just choose their preferred candidate to take over the government. And that is exactly what is happening. Okay, someone said, did you follow the case? In fact, you went to the court without concrete evidence. Did you think you can win your case through media trials? Okay, be sincere. Does Obi win the election? Can you imagine? Please maintain your integrity and decency. That is what you are saying. And nobody will answer your question anyway. The secessionists and agitators and all the unlawful interceptions group has been empowered by our judiciary, yes, to advance to ride our nation like ordinary bike. Because you people were not allowed to reap where you didn't sow. Can you imagine? So the state of the country now is something else. The rule of law again in Nigeria. Now already established, fraud and all forms of dishonesty has been entrenched and established. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comment.